Have you ever felt like you're just talking to a wall? You're praying, you're trying to connect, but all you get back is silence? It's so frustrating, right? But what if the problem isn't that no one's talking, but that we're listening for the wrong thing? Let's get into that.
Yeah, that feeling of spiritual static. It's way more common than you think. You look around and it feels like everyone else has this special, direct line, and you're just left out. It's not just in your head, it's a genuinely painful feeling.
The author we're drawing from today tells this story about a close friend of hers. And this wasn't someone new to faith. This woman was a spiritual giant, a real prayer warrior. But even after 20 years, she confessed, God doesn't speak to me. Can you imagine?
And that got the author thinking. Maybe it wasn't really silence at all. See, her friend was waiting for the big stuff. The booming voice from the heavens, the burning bush moment, one of those totally undeniable signs. But what if that's not the only way communication happens? What if there's another language being used?
And this is the big idea we're digging into. The problem isn't a lack of communication. So many of us are mourning a silence that isn't actually there. It's just that we're tuned into the wrong frequency, listening for one language when really there's this unique dialect being spoken, made just for us.
I love how our source material puts it. Same God, different dialects. Think about it. This isn't about some megaphone blasting the same message to everyone. It's supposed to be a personal conversation.
And if you look at scripture, this idea is everywhere. God spoke to people in all sorts of ways, right? Samuel heard an actual audible voice. Joseph, his messages came through dreams. For Peter, it was a vision. And then you've got Elijah, who heard that famous, still, small voice, not in the wind or the fire, but in the quiet that came after. And maybe my favorite example, he even spoke to Balaam through his donkey, a donkey, because that was literally the only way to break through the prophet's hardened heart. I mean, that just shows how creative and, frankly, persistent this communication can be.
Okay, so those are ancient stories. But how does this look for us right now? Well, the author shares a personal story that just brings this whole idea home.
So, years back, she's in the middle of writing a poem about prayer, of all things, and out of nowhere, this one word just pops into her mind. Engedi. It wasn't a word she knew or was trying to think of, it just showed up. And it wouldn't go away. She had never heard this word in her life, but she had this gut feeling, this instinct that said, pay attention to this. So she stopped everything, grabbed her phone, and just looked it up. And what she found was, wow. En-Gedi was a desert oasis. It was a place of refuge, a sanctuary, where David hid from Saul when he was on the run. And remember what she was writing about, prayer as a refuge. It was the perfect word, whispered right into her mind at the exact moment she needed it. Okay, that's an incredible story, but how do we start recognizing our own divine dialect? How do we tune in? Well, this source gives us 4 really practical steps to get started. Okay, step 1, write them down. Don't just dismiss those weird words or ideas that keep nagging at you. Jot them down. Step 2, look them up. Do a little research. You might be shocked at how your situation is described perfectly. 3, sit with it. Don't just rush on. Pray about it. Think about how it connects to your life right now. And finally, step 4, act on it. The point here isn't to get it perfect every time. The goal is just to practice listening. So here's the bottom line, and this is so important. If you've been feeling that silence, you are not being ignored. You are not being left out of the conversation. This is not a sign that you failed. Think of it as an invitation to a new beginning, a chance to finally learn to recognize the sound of your own name when it's called in a language that was designed just for you. So I want to leave you with this question. Think back for a minute. What word, what idea, what little phrase has popped into your head that you've just brushed off as random? Because that might just be the very beginning of the conversation you've been waiting for.